My name is Arun Kumar and I am the driver. You're watching Driven Diary episode 69. Thanks so much for joining me. What is Driven Diary? It's the documentation of my life as I build a billion-dollar automotive service business called Driven Auto Co. Driven Auto Co. is currently made up of two companies. We have the legacy 2018 founded Driven Performance Advisors, which performs consulting services to the automotive aftermarket, currently heavily focused on selling automotive aftermarket companies. And secondly, we have the future, which is Driven Auto Care, which is a chain of automotive service shops. Currently, we have 2 locations in the San Francisco Bay Area. I will build Driven Auto Care into a billion-dollar company that makes a dent in the perception of automotive service in the United States. Now, Driven Diary exists because I believe there's insufficient documentation of the entire journey, taking someone from a simple idea all the way through the consummation and the fame and the validation of the effort. And so far, I'm doing my best, I'll put it that way, to document every step of the journey, the mistakes that I make, the sentiment that I'm feeling along the way, the personal life challenges that come along with it. And it's here. It's here on YouTube for everybody to see, hopefully for the rest of time. And eventually there'll be proof that the dedication that I'm putting into this will result in that billion-dollar company. So right now, what are we doing? Well, I'm suing a former client who's stiffing me on a bill. They started paying me back for a vendor account that I took care of for them, and then they stopped. So they owe me. You'll see me go to court a couple of times this week to try to handle that. We are super short-staffed across the shops. The manager of our second location in Campbell has been out with a surgery that went wrong for 2 weeks now. And he's actually, as I'm recording this, in the ICU of an emergency room locally here. And he is on a recovery path, but he had 2 weeks of a lot of complications and suffering. So I'm glad he's doing better. But it means that I've had to step in quite a lot and be very tactically involved, which is a challenge because I have a 2-week-old baby. So that's the story. That's where we're at right now in the journey. We have 2 shops. It's the end of December. It's the holidays. There's not that much going on. We got this crashed RAV4 that will be going back together next week, which I'm happy about. But overall, there's just a lot going on and not enough hours in the day, and you can see me really struggling with sleep this week. So, with all that said, let's get to the video. Monday, 12:30, and we're off in the truck down to Santa Clara County, and we're gonna go do 2 things. First, I'd like you to think back to a story that I told you guys about a few months ago. It was end of September, in fact, and I had to go to the Santa Clara County Superior Court to do the hearing for my former client that stiffed me for about $5,000 earlier this year. And so they tried to appeal, but they filed the appeal too late, so I won fair and square, $5,000. They owe me, and they have not paid me yet. I have a collections agency chasing them. They've mailed letters, visited in person, called, emailed. So we are headed to the courthouse because it's been over 30 days since the judgment was sent out on October 14th, I think it was. And we are gonna go file something that will basically either compel them to set up a payment plan or compel them to pay me by officer of the law. So I'm excited to get this over with, get another $5,000 in my pocket. That's all for now. $5,000. These are worthwhile trips. I don't like them. The court system is quite bureaucratic, but I can get my money. So this kind of mindset is most certainly helpful, I think, when you put your foot down over really any amount of money that is taken from you that shouldn't be. So that's how I feel right now. Vindication. Glad I got that done. That's all for now. Oof, Tuesday afternoon. Today has been a day defined by headaches. Andrew Tate had some clips a while ago talking about how a headache should never stand in the way of achieving what you want to achieve. I just dropped the dog's leash. So I have most certainly tried to make sure that that does not happen. And frankly, I am sleep deprived and just trying to do everything in my power to keep moving everything forwards. We have the biggest deal. Got a big bank deposit today, first of all, but then biggest deal, 6 times that bank deposit that I have the opportunity to earn or more, should be closing this week, but big hairy problem came up today that we're working through. And then the shops, we should be finally back to full strength here very soon. So I'm excited for that, but it does feel like there's been a lot of limbo lately. And personally, I'm suffering, struggling, trying to stay on top of everything and get enough sleep. So that's all for now, I think. This guy keeps stepping on the leash as I very loosely hold it. Anyway, so talk to you later. Well, use this grocery getter to go to Target right after that walk I just talked to you guys on, because first time I've driven this since Rainier was born, and it is it's good to be back, even if it's just 3 miles to Target and back. It still feels special, and this thing needed a little outing, so feels a little bit like myself, which is good. Wednesday morning, very foggy Wednesday morning. Rainier is 2 weeks old today, which is very exciting. And I feel like I am personally getting my shit together as a dad a little bit more. For the last 2 weeks, there's been plenty of sleep deprivation. I think I complained about it yesterday. I slept better, like 5 hours last night, on top of the 2-hour nap I had yesterday. And I woke up in a better mood, and I was able to manage him better. I was able to manage his needs better and sort of have them coexist with my own, learning better how to put him down to sleep so that I actually can do things, but also being responsive to when he needs to eat or have a diaper change, which is really the only 2 things he needs. And as a result of that, here I am at 9:30 in the morning, and I've showered and I've participated in work calls and I've lifted and I've eaten. So feeling like I have my shit a little bit more together now. And I've spent, 3 hours of the day so far since I woke up at 3 a.m. and it's 9:30. So 4 hours of the day probably I've spent just taking care of the house, between household garbage out to the street before the truck was there to pick it up, just doing what's needed and getting it all done, picking up the dog poop out in the yard. So feels good, feels great. I was supposed to go to the DMV today to register the most recent loaner car that I purchased, but I'm not going to be able to do that because I have to be back home for a call at 11. So I'm going to the shop right now, going to sit through this very foggy traffic, go to the shop, get the paperwork for that car, and get the mail, check in with the team. Alex is almost back from his surgery, but he tried to come in today and he made it about halfway to work, and we decided that he was in too much pain to make it all the way to work. He was already going to be quite late, and I just said, look, you gotta be reliable if you're gonna decide to come back to work, and you're not reliable if you're wincing in pain and have to pull over on the side of the road and you're an hour late to work as a result. So can't have that. We will continue to persist under the current framework. This is why it's so nice to have two shops. Worst case in this situation, I would have basically had to run a shop and not really gotten to participate as much in Rainier's upbringing. But some part of me also thinks that might be a worthwhile trade-off. I don't know. I think I'm doing the thing right now, doing the parenting. So anyways, I think that's going to be all for now. Gonna get these things done. We need to get some cars out of the shops. Both shops are actually quite full of work, which is great, but we need to finish that work. And that's all for now. Ballsy taking that out in the fog. I'd forgotten that I applied to be a wholesale dealer a year and 2 months ago, but I guess I got plates now. Maybe I'll use them for the $400 it cost me. We got a Thursday morning, late morning, sitting in some traffic in the race car, headed down to Campbell. We're going for a 1-hour phone call with a Schwartz Advisors client, and then a 1-hour interview, and then I have to bring proof of service of the latest court filing to the court and file that so that I can effect the hearing that will be in early February for getting my money back from my former client, who basically forced me to pay their vendor bill for them and then started paying me back but never finished. So I'm looking forward to doing all that and go back home and then back on kid duty. So it's about 11 right now. I've had about 2 hours of work so far today. I've got another 4 hours of work here, 4.5. And then back home, and yeah, that's what we got. So I will I don't know what I'll do. Lost for words. Tired. Doing what needs to be done. Mainly staffing. Alex is back today, but he's still struggling. We're getting another tech in Campbell. Fremont shop is getting back to full strength finally. So let's fix some cars and sell some companies. That's all for now. Okay, here we have a truck parked at a green light, not in the left turn lane. There is the solid line. Here is the truck stopped, holding up all the fucking traffic. Fucking move, dude. What is this bullshit? Oh my God. The light is green. Okay, it just turned red. Rant over. Friday afternoon, and it's been a long day. I think I mentioned earlier. No, I don't think I mentioned earlier, actually. I think all you saw, the last clip, was me cussing out that truck that stopped at a green light. But, anyways, I went to Fremont. I actually ran the Fremont shop. No, that's the last clip you saw. I ran the Fremont shop this morning. Alex is trying to come back to work, but he probably has some sort of infection or something. He is in really bad health, to be honest. So, I'm glad I can offer health insurance, and I do really wish that his long-term being out did not coincide with me having a kid and not being able to work as much, so that we could continue to run both shops at full strength. It's just not happening right now. So there's that. And then this afternoon, I got home about 12:30. I spent the last few hours with Evelyn and the baby and the dog going to the dog park, which was a nice outing. And then now I'm headed back to Fremont so that I can pick up a car that we dropped off at the body shop, bring it back to Fremont so we can fix it Monday morning. So that's all for now. Very tired, very tired. Trying a new sleep schedule for Rainier so that Evelyn and I can both get into bed at the same time in the evenings. We'll see how that works in the long term, but you know, is what it is for now. We're both waking up multiple times a night to feed him and change diapers and make him quiet, which is tough, but it is what it is. It's all part of trying to split being a new parent with running multiple businesses. So on the consulting front, we had a couple of good notches in the right direction today, but the deal that was supposed to close today has not yet closed. Life-changing amount of money. It's the difference between Driven Performance Advisors making well over $1 million this year or not. So we'll see. We'll see. No update at the moment. Deal dynamics at the last minute are always a bit stressful. That's about all I'm really able to share. So that's all for now. Peace. Update on the RAV4. This is a $6,200 job. Salvage title now. We had to get this frame straightened at a nearby body shop. Now it's going back to Driven Auto Care Fremont, where they will finish the work on Monday, and then I will tow it down to Campbell. The customer will be happy. And that's it for Driven Diary episode 69. Welcome back to the shop, and thank you so much for watching. If you have any feedback or questions about the episode, please leave a comment below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, which I'm sure you did because you watched all the way till the end. If you want us to show up higher in the YouTube algorithm, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss next week's Driven Diary. And until next week, I hope you go out and you continue to chase your own automotive dreams and stay driven.